today we're going to be talking about the effects of birth control and the 28 rigorous cycle that the woman has to go through each month. To start off, I'd like you guys to do a little pre-test and answer these questions to the best of your ability. If you cannot, it's okay, we're going to cover every aspect and label the diagrams. And while you guys are doing that, I'm just going to read the objective off the board. So by the end of this lesson, I'm hoping that you guys will be able to identify the common misconceptions of pregnancy as well as birth control. I want you guys to leave today with a better understanding of the functions of some of the hormones associated with pregnancy and the woman's menstrual cycle, and be able to distinguish how birth control manipulates the woman's body. I want you guys to know that the brain is the body's control center. I'm telling you guys this because we will be specifically talking about the hypothalamus, that's here, as well as the pituitary gland. And I want you guys to know that the pituitary gland is controlled by the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is a collection of specialized cells located in the lower central part of our brain. This is a primary link between endocrine cells and the nervous system. Endocrine cells are glands that secrete hormones. So these nerve cells in the hypothalamus control the pituitary gland by producing chemicals that either stimulate or suppress hormone secretion. Move on. So what is a hormone? A hormone is a chemical molecule that is produced in special cells within a gland. And the function of the hormone is that they are supposed to be released into our bloodstream and travel to distant responsive cells when they exhibit characteristic effects. And as I mentioned already, endocrine glands are the glands that secrete hormones. So, the two main ones we will be talking about today are estrogen and progesterone, as well as three other ones, but we're not there yet. So, estrogen is the fundamental hormones in the development of feminization. That's dealing with anything from pregnancy to our body shapes and emotion, as you see, and external genitalia. And progesterone is the pro-pregnancy hormone, so it's basically modifying everything that estrogen does, dealing with the uterus, emotion, and the breasts. I have a hard time saying these, but gonadotropin-releasing hormone is a hormone that is produced from the hypothalamus, and this is where the chain reaction starts. So the brain, the hypothalamus in our brain, tells this hormone, the GnRH, to signal on and release these two hormones, follicle-stimulating hormone as well as the luteinizing hormone. So it's a chain reaction, like I said. So once this is released, this signals the pituitary gland to release the following hormones. So the follicle-stimulating hormone is, like I said, secreted by the anterior pituitary gland, and it stimulates growth of follicles in the ovary and induces the formation of the sperm in the testes, which then goes here. The luteinizing hormone is a hormone produced by the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Again, they come from the same place. And this stimulates ovulation and the development in the corpus luteum in the female. And the corpus luteum is the follicle that remains in the ovary. It's the same one that releases the egg, if that makes sense. It's just a follicle, it's just a different name.
If it's not fertilized, is it like not as long as a cycle then? Like
It just starts back over.
But all of it's 28 days even if it's not fertilized?
Yeah, still 28 days. That's still the same. So birth control pills contain estrogen and progesterone and are designed to regulate, your periods and everything. And they prevent surges. So we're going to be talking about the birth control pills today because there are so many different kinds of contraceptives that I didn't want to get into a lot of them. So these are for a 28-day cycle because that's how long our cycle is. So for 3 weeks, you're taking these orange pills. Sorry, I'll pass this around in a second. And then for these 7 days, you're taking the greenish colored ones. And these greenish colored ones are just sugar pills. That's all they are. And that's so so the girl doesn't get off track, so she's taking them every single day. And the more estrogen you have, the more likely you're going to have side effects. And this only has 35 micrograms of estrogen, which is not a lot. Normally, during ovulation in the menstruation cycle, they can go up to like 300 micrograms of estrogen, so you guys can pass that around. So these you take daily, and you have to take them at the same time or within a 4-hour period of whatever time you started. So if I started taking them, Saturday, 12 p.m., the next day I need to take it 12 p.m. And I have a 4-period time where I can still take it and be like, in case I forgot or something. The hormones in that are called progestin, and that's a synthetic form of both estrogen and progesterone. So during ovulation, estrogen levels release. They can peak up to 300 micrograms. And birth control pills never exceed, or hardly ever exceed, 50. And the one I showed you guys was only 35. So these are the blue line is the level of estrogen, and the orange line is progesterone. And so this is the normal cycle. So this is just, regular. This is when the egg releases. The estrogen levels have dropped. But when you're on birth control, it just stays constant the entire time because it releases in little surges. If that makes sense. Yeah.
What's happening during the peak of the progesterone?
Like here?
Yeah, like when that gets higher. Is there any?
So that's
like, where is that in the cycle?
Where is that in the cycle? That's when the endometrium is becoming like thicker. The uterus lining is becoming thicker and thicker because it thinks it's ready, and because the egg, when it thinks it's released, or it's waiting for it to be released, it's like getting higher and higher, but it dissolves, so it goes away. That's why it breaks down. So, in conclusion, so birth control hormones prevent pregnancy in 3 different ways. They stop ovaries from releasing an egg each month. They also thicken the mucus in the cervix, and that makes it harder for the sperm to enter and travel into the uterus. And they change the lining of the uterus, which makes it harder for the fertilized egg to attach to it. And this is kind of going back to your question. So because of the hormonal control of the ovarian and menstrual cycle, it ensures that any potential embryo will have the highest possible opportunity for developmental success. So it doesn't matter what your age is because you're still producing those hormones, I guess. So yeah, any questions? No? Okay. Well, here's a vagina. You guys want to see it? Through the ovaries, fallopian tubes, just to see it, since you guys didn't really see a 3D